Hola, and welcome to Spanish for Beginners with Spanish Marks. In today's class, we're going to look at a very common irregular verb, tener. This verb means to have in the sense of possession. However, tener is also used in other instances, and we shall cover them in this class. Before then, let's look at the conjugation of tener in present indicative. Tener, to have. Yo tengo. Tú tienes. Él, ella, usted tiene. Nosotros, nosotras tenemos. Vosotros, vosotras tenéis. Ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. Can you see how the verb is irregular in present tense? Only in the nosotros and vosotros form, the verb stays regular, as in it does not change its stem. In all the other forms, you can see that the stem changes from its infinitive form. The first person singular yo form maintains the stem ten, but has an irregular ending by adding the G. Okay, so we know how to conjugate tener in the present tense. Let's look at some of its uses. As mentioned before, this means to have, but it also has other uses. It is a very common verb, so you will most definitely be using it a lot. Possession. This is used in exactly the same way as you would use it in English. Yo tengo un libro de español. Vosotros tenéis el pelo negro. Obligation. When talking about obligations, you use tener as you would use have to in English. The structure for the sentence is tener plus que plus infinitive verb. So always add the que between the conjugated form of tener and the infinitive verb. Tú tienes que estudiar español. Tenemos que practicar el piano. Remember, when making sentences of obligation, tener always has to be conjugated and the verb after que always has to be in the infinitive form. Okay, so for the last couple of uses of tener have been straightforward because it is used in the same way as in English. Now we can come to the fun part because for the next couple of uses in English, you would use the verb to be, whereas in Spanish, we use tener, to have. Indicate age. Let's look at these two examples when related to age. How old are you? I am 30 years old. Notice how in English you have to use the verb to be. Well, in Spanish, the translations would be ¿Cuántos años tienes? Tengo 30 años. You use the verb tener when indicating age. Therefore, if you were to translate the sentences back to English in a literal way, you are saying, how many years do you have? I have 30 years. Now you try with your age. Can you say how old you are? Physical and emotional states. We also use tener when describing physical and emotional states. Let's look at some examples. And again, notice how in English you would use the verb to be. Tengo frío. I am cold. Tengo calor. I am hot. Tengo sueño. I am sleepy. Tengo hambre. I'm hungry. Tengo sed. I am thirsty. Tengo vergüenza. I am ashamed. Tengo miedo. I'm scared. Other expressions. We also use tener for other idiomatic. Let's look at these examples. Tener razón. Mi mamá siempre tiene razón. Tener ganas de. Tengo ganas de helado. Tener prisa. Paco y Cosmo tienen prisa. Tener éxito. Tienes éxito con tu español. Great. So now we know some common uses for the verb tener. Let's visit Cosmo. Let's take a look at Cosmo and his friends. Two phrases will appear, and then you will have a few seconds to choose which phrase is relevant to what is happening. So let's begin. A. Cosmo tiene frío. B. Cosmo tiene calor. The answer, of course, is A. Cosmo tiene frío. A. Cosmo y Mónica tienen miedo. B. Cosmo y Mónica tienen sueño. The answer is A. Cosmo y Mónica tienen miedo. A. Cosmo tiene 72 años. B. Cosmo tiene 62 años. ¡Feliz cumpleaños, Cosmo! It is B. Cosmo tiene 62 años. A. Cosmo tiene éxito. B. Cosmo tiene prisa. Finally, the answer is A. Cosmo tiene éxito. Wow, Cosmo is 62 years old? He looks so good for his age. Anyway, how did you do? Did you get all the answers correct? I'm sure you did. Therefore, in today's class we have learned how to conjugate the verb tener in present tense, different uses of the verb tener. ¿Tienes ganas de estudiar más español? Do you feel like studying more Spanish? Of course you do. Let's see you in the next class.